What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, CenterStrain01, and welcome to exclusive gameplay footage of a recent event that I was just at in San Francisco with Ubisoft. Thank you so much for sending me out there so I can get a chance to play one of my most anticipated games of 2017, which is Recon Wildlands. So first off, we're going to get right in here, and I'm going to show you guys some character customizations. We're just going to quickly go through this to show you some of the options. I have to say this, that the character customization I have found is way more expansive than the character customization in, let's say, their previous game, Ubisoft's previous game, like kind of fits this genre, I guess, in The Division. So there's a lot more customizational options for you to choose from: male, female, all different kinds of facial hair, clothing. I mean, it just goes, and this is for that real kind of elitist, right? Because I am in the military, and what I end up picking here in my character customization is literally something that the exact same thing that I wore when I was stationed in Afghanistan when we would go on our convoys and stuff like that. I mean, literally to the T, the exact same thing, and I'll get to that when it comes up here. But as you can see, there are a lot of options for you to choose from to really get your character customized is how you want it. Right there is the same exact outfit that I wore in Afghanistan. Now, the only thing difference is I had a different type of vest on, but they have that vest in this game, but I didn't want to choose it just because I felt that I didn't want it to be exactly the same. I wanted to test out what I thought looked the coolest, but this is so cool and unique to be able to have this type of uniform. The uniform he is wearing was what we call the MCUs, which were kind of for the environment that we were in. They were specifically designed for use in the area of Afghanistan that we were currently in. But it was awesome. It was amazing to kind of see all of these unique things and to actually have been able to wear these types of uniforms and to be able to play them in the game as well. Lots and lots of customizations, lots and lots of different things that you can actually choose just from the very beginning. Now, all of this is stuff that you can continually change throughout your play. You can get different types of uniforms and stuff like that. It's not like once you set this, you were stuck with it. You were always able to go in and do different outfits and different sets of outfits. Really, if you want to be more of a sniper, obviously you can make it that way. There's just so many options that this game gives you in just the beginning for going in for the character customization. So let me explain what I'm going through kind of here is this is the gameplay that I'm going to be showing you today is just a small portion of what I actually played. I edited it down a little bit just to give you guys something more enjoyable to watch, as everyone knows that when you play stealth, there is a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of just kind of waiting for that right moment to strike. I do not play these types of games run and gun. I'm going to have a separate video showcasing what run and gun can do in this game, and that is going to be my co-op video, as the guys that I played co-op with didn't have stealth in mind. They just wanted to go in there and just run around and just have fun.
Time to earn your pay, people. Put on your game faces.
I completely understand that. I am going to be talking through most of this, as I'm not here to like show you pretty much the missions themselves, but I'm here to show you just the kind of gameplay that you're going to get yourself in. So this is the very first mission. I've skipped the cutscenes. We're not allowed to show you any of that stuff. We're just going to show you straight up gameplay. So any vehicle you see, you are going to be able to get into. So if you want to drive, you can be a passenger. You can, I mean, as long as there's enough room, you'll be able to fit all of your Ghost Squad with you here. Now remember, these are AI-driven characters, and you have full choice of abilities of what they do. Think of Future Soldier. They did bring a lot of Future Soldier into this game as far as what you can do, you know, setting up sync shots, having all of your AI teammates like focus on a specific enemy to be able to tag them, and then you guys can do a sync shot and you can take out, like, say 4 people instantaneous if you got one, and then your 3 AI teammates have the other. I will say this, the Ghost mode, which is what I am playing this on, Ghost is the hardest difficulty setting, at least from the beginning. There's about 4 difficulty settings. I can't remember exactly what they were, but I picked the toughest one so I can show you just exactly how tough this game is. And as you'll see in the co-op, if you're playing with people that do not know a damn thing about stealth, then you're going to get caught, you're going to die, it's going to be very quickly that you're going to get into a lot of trouble. And I don't want to do that. I prefer to play this in a manner of me getting into an area, having multiple enemies around, and getting out without even hurting a single one. That is always my goal. But there are, of course, some cases where you're going to have to take out 1 or 2 enemies just to clear an optimal path for you to get in. And we're going to show that off in just a minute, how I'm going to be able to get into an area and be able to kind of scope it out, look around, and not take a single person out, get into my objective, and get him out without ever being seen, which just gave me chills with the scope of this game, how open it is. This is a fully opened world. I can go anywhere I want. I can do missions in any order that I want. They're not like structured as in like this is mission 1 or this is mission 2 or this is mission 3. It's structured more as you have kind of like think of the Mafia series, think of the Godfather series in the games, where you have to take out each individual lieutenants and stuff like that before you can get to the big bats. So you can do them in any way you want. Some areas are going to be more difficult than others, but it gives you the opportunity to do it whatever the way you want. And the more intel you gather, the better chances you're going to have at knowing how to get in there and get out without being seen. So as you can see, stealth is very, very important when it comes to this. You're going to be able to mark enemies for execution by your teammates. It's really, really fun. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, the mark is kind of back, or you know, that was something I loved. I loved, if I'm not going to be playing with friends, if I'm going to be playing with AI teammates, I want to know that those AI teammates can still handle their own, can handle themselves. And knowing that they can take out targets for me, I always enjoyed. I play tactically, I play stealthily. I like to use my AI teammates as much as possible to really get more out of the game. I most likely will have a video with no commentary, so you guys can see all of this up front with no commentary, so you don't have me kind of talking over. But this will be just me kind of explaining, you know, what my thought process on this. But in the beginning, you have a drone here. You can mark enemies. Let's move. But you'll notice that you don't have a very long distance range. These are upgrades that you will be able to eventually do. You'll eventually be able to get longer batteries, be able to have your drone go further away. You'll eventually be able to have your drone actually take out enemies themselves. Again, it's all about an upgrade system that allows you. There's so many things, so many stats to upgrade. I mean, just from being able to do things a lot quicker, being able to have different vision modes and stuff like all that will come with the more skill points that you do. But when taking out an enemy, as you'll see up here, you get 2 options. You can either knock them out or you can grab them. So grabbing them, sometimes if they're an important enemy that you actually need to have a conversation with, you will be able to interrogate them. But for these low types of enemies, it's just pretty much you grab them and you try to take them out of enemy sight. Now there is no picking up, at least in this in the gameplay that I got to play, there was no picking up enemies after the fact that you've already knocked them out. So if that is the case, you need to be careful on when you are going up against enemies, because let's say you knock out an enemy and another enemy sees it from far away, because you now no longer have the chance to actually grab that enemy and move him out of the way. It could definitely harm you. Now this is literally the first time that I actually got to play this. I mean, I played it at E3 last year and I played a little bit of it, so we got to do like one mission with the developers. They were holding your hands. They were really taking you through this. This is the first time I've got to play it where it's really on my own. No one's telling me what to do. I'm sitting alone in a little private booth, so I'm moving very, very slow. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I'm testing to see, is this guard going to turn around? If I try to maybe knock this guy out from here, is this guy who's up here who's playing football, is he going to notice something? Is he going to hear something? As you can see, he turns around ever so slightly. So there are gaps in his whatever that he's doing where he'll be facing this way or he'll be facing the opposite way. But one thing I hope they do change is, like right here, as you can see, there's no button that allows us to drag him back from this cover. Unfortunately, you have to do it from right here. And the other thing that sucks is that, as you can see, it leaves the body there, and he doesn't see necessarily the body, but he sees me slightly. So let that, you know, kind of tell you exactly what they're going for here. But from what I can tell, as of right now, they do not have the kind of gameplay where you can take someone on one side of a cover and bring them back to the other. They need to add that in there. If the developers are watching, it is very, very important for us who want to remain stealthy to be able to drag a body from where we're actually taking him out. Instead of just grabbing him and dragging him ourselves, we want to be able to throw him back behind the cover. I think that's very important when it comes to an all-out stealth kind of gameplay. But this is a very, very easy mission to pull off here, because this is just kind of funneling enemies at you one at a time. But again, first time I'm playing, so I'm kind of really just taking my time and just seeing how far distances enemies can see you.
Yo, cartel gunman.
I played, I don't know, I'd say I played single player maybe for about just over an hour, and then they pushed us right into the co-op, because they really wanted to show off co-op more than anything. And I think you guys are going to have real fun with that video, even though it's not going to be as stealthy as this video here that's showing you the single player. But that's mainly just because of the 3 others that I was playing with. Just didn't really want to do stealth. They just wanted to go around and mess with everything. But again, that was out of my option. I wanted to go in stealth, but you can't always, get to do that. So as you can see here, there's no grabbing someone behind a specific cover. If they're close to you, you can't drag their body over to the side. Again, I don't know if that's going to be in there, but that is something that is sorely needed in a game like this. Obviously, there are ways to get around it. Make sure that when you take out enemies, they're not surrounded by other people. Distract enemies. You have this was before I really knew that I could use my teammates to do a lot of things. This is before I even knew that we could set up sync shots. They just pushed you right into this. They didn't tell you anything about the controls. They wanted you to learn from scratch. So it took me a little while, but once I got into the co-op, that's when I finally started to realize exactly the kind of control that you have in these characters. Now, this is a guy you're going to grab and you're going to interrogate. He was the main guy that we were going after. As you can see, he has a different marker, so you can get some information from him.
You answer my questions, or I put a bullet in your gut and leave you to die in your own shit. ¿Lo entiendes?
Chill the fuck up, cabron. What do you want?
Amaru, where can I find him?
You serious? That's what this is about? Sure thing. He's at Atoya Farm. Go on. Then you can see what we do to people who fuck with us. People like you.
And there you go. So we reached the mission checkpoint. Now we're going to move on to the next section.
Amaru's an old man. He's not going to last long under torture.
Shit, if they've been working on him for a while, there's a good chance he's already dead.
Maybe, maybe not. Amaru's a major player in the rebel movement. The cartel will keep him alive as long as they can to find out what he knows.
You can go around and tag supplies. This gives you extra. This gives you points for upgrades, points for buying weapons, and other things like that. But we're going to go ahead and skip ahead here to a little bit later. It's such a huge open world that it took us about 5 minutes to get to this next section of just driving and whatnot. And I will show off some driving gameplay here in a little bit. But as you can see, I've already marked the enemies. They're already marked. There's about probably 8 or 9 enemies around this little area. We need to grab this guy. He is our contact. But I wanted to do this in the stealthiest manner as possible, so I really took my time here and I waited until I could find the perfect opening. And in order to do this, again, you're going to have to kind of study enemy movement, just like any stealth game. Kind of just take your time, figure it out. There is no restart mission selection from what I can tell. There wasn't one in the menu, so I couldn't restart the level or even restart a checkpoint. So I got in here quickly. We're going to take this guy out, and we're going to do it without being seen. This is a lot harder than it looks, and literally, if I get shot twice, you die. I mean, it's very, very, very difficult on Ghost difficulty, even though this video doesn't really show that. It is. Again, I am showing you exactly how stealth works in this game, as opposed to showing you just how easy it is. You can die. You're going to see that in the co-op video, and you're going to see that a lot. So all we need to do is we got to extract this guy and get him back to the base that we need to go to. So there are cutscenes between pretty much every mission that I played, which is pretty cool, because I was afraid that this was going to be a lot of gameplay and no kind of story, no real connection with the characters or why they're there or anything like that. But I gotta say, I was impressed that with all of the lieutenants that you face off, and even those lieutenants of the lieutenants that you're going to be facing off and kind of eliminating one at a time, each one has a story to them, and it shows you that in briefings and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Now, one thing I was a little upset at, and I talked to the developers about this, was I want a stat screen. I want a reason that the game says, congratulations, you didn't take a single enemy out, or you were never seen, or you were never heard. Unfortunately, there is nothing of that in this. All there is you're going to go to mission to mission to mission.
Clear out. I'll meet you there.
All you got to do is complete it. So if you wanted to go in here and just be a run and gunner, then you can do that. You're not going to get penalized whatsoever, except it's going to be a little bit tougher to pull off, but you won't get penalized on a stat screen, or you won't get extra cool gear for being stealthy or not stealthy. The other thing I want to notice here is we have a vehicle here that only has 4 seats, right? You got me driving, then you've got 3 passenger seats. We had to leave one of our guys behind, but you can actually do that. He'll find his own way to get back, so you don't have to worry about making sure that all 3 of your ghosts are with you at every single time. He will, I'm sure, just magically just go to where he needs to go. But just look at the environment, look at the detail. I mean, my hopes is to play this on PC. This was the PS4 Pro version that we played. So I'm sure it was probably running the best it's going to be run. But remember, when we play these little demos or these little slices of the game, what we're playing is a version that's probably months and months back, because they're still hard at work and they've improved so many things from this point that everything you see here, I'm sure, is going to be a little different than what it is in the actual finished product. Driving was fairly easy. It wasn't too difficult. It's got some good drift in it, a good feel of speed. There's a lot of civilians running around. One thing I absolutely love so far is when you're driving around, you're going to come across other civilians that are driving, and you're going to come across other enemies that are driving. They're not automatically going to be onto you. One thing I hated about, and I'm just giving this as an example, in Far Cry 2, was that no matter what you did, no matter what car you were in or anything, if you were driving somewhere, if everybody could see you, then everybody was after you. That is not in this game. As you'll see, there are certain checkpoints that have enemies that you don't want to drive through, of course, but everyone is just running around. You know, you've got civilians in this world. You've got an open, fully realized world that has all just people running their everyday lives, where you have like little side missions that can come up on the side of the road, helping people out on the side of the road and different things like that. Every car you see is stealable, is drivable. Helicopters, planes, even boats. I mean, there's just motorcycles. What was it? I'm trying to think of what it was. Like a construction vehicle where like you have the thing that comes up and down, like construction people work with. Really, really fun vehicles to drive, and obviously they have a lot of power to them, and you're going to do some convoy missions where you're going to have to like set up traps along the roadway because you need to stop a certain convoy from completing or going where it needs to go. Again, you're going to see a lot of videos probably from other YouTubers that played what I played, and they're probably going to show you a lot more. They're going to show you a lot more missions than I'm going to show you. This is the one video I have to show you. But that's because I don't rush. I'm not just going to rush in there, try to kill everybody, and then move on to the next mission. They're going to do that. You're going to see a lot of people out there, if you've watched anybody else, that are just going to rush through missions and just to show it off, because that's what they want to do. But that's not what you're going to get from here. You're going to get... I want to show you what a true fan of this series, of what it means to me, since I've played the original Ghost Recon back in, 2000. So I've been a fan of this series for 17 years. I've been a fan of these types of games for so long, and there's something inside me that just doesn't allow myself, when I'm playing a single-player story, and it's a stealth kind of game, to go in there and just start shooting people without trying to figure a different way of doing it. It's that accomplishment. It's that feeling of going through a level and never being seen, or accomplishing your objective and have everyone be knocked out and they never saw your face or something like that, instead of just running gun. And I'm telling you, if you're playing this on Ghost, you are not going to run a gun, because you will die very, very quickly. This game's not kidding around when it comes to you being dead. What happens is you go into a state of your allies, your AI teammates, or your co-op teammates can revive you only once. Not in the co-op, should I say. But if you have AI teammates, they can revive you only one time. So if they revive you once, you get up, you're back in the fight. But if you go down again, game over. You're dead. So at least that only happens once. I was afraid that you'd be able to continually spam that, but it looks like you can't. Yeah, so really our objective was just to get this guy over into this area. A cutscene is going to play here, and it's a very, very well done cutscene too. Graphics are just, I'm very, very impressed with what I played from E3 last year and what I played just this last week. Huge difference, huge difference, huge difference. And there's a day and night cycle, as you can see. You can actually turn off your lights so that you don't give yourself away. You'll notice on the bottom right there's these little red or orange marks along the environment. That is where enemies are. So you know exactly where you want to kind of stop your vehicle before you move up, or you don't want to just drive through those sections. Some they're not. It's not like the enemies will follow you if you just continually drive through. But the enemies will be onto you, and they'll possibly start shooting you. You get a decent amount of time for the enemy to see you before they start actually kind of shooting at you. So as you saw a little bit when we first were playing, there was a little meter that kind of goes up that says, oh, the enemy's onto you, he's onto you, and then bam, he knows you're definitely there, and then they're going to start shooting. So you get a little bit of time to rush out of there if you're in a vehicle. So there are times you can rush past checkpoints and the enemy won't even start firing at you because you got out of there quick. So we've got one other section here that I'm going to show you off. Which is just, I guess, a side mission, kind of a supply raid mission where you can, you know, just do more messing around in the environments and stuff like that. Here, up ahead, we need to tag some crates, get some information on stuff. There's also skill points that you can go around and get as well. There's a lot of side things. But right there, I just showed you exactly what the sync shot was. So I tagged an enemy, and then one of my own AI teammates got into position, and he took the enemy out with a sniper rifle. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And I know a lot of people complained about my Ghost Recon Future Soldier walkthrough because I used the sync shots a lot, or I used my AI teammates to help kind of take out enemies because I wanted to do it in a tactical way. I love being tactical, and I don't want to have to do it all myself. If I have AI teammates that can actually help you out, why would you not use them? You're wasting what the game gives you, the toys that it gives you to work with. I think it would be boring if I literally just went up to every single enemy and like kind of knife them in the back. And unfortunately, there are some times where you have to do that. But I think that would get boring after a while. So I want to mix it up. I want to use my teammates sometimes. I want to not use it. I want to see if I can get in there by myself. But this is a situation where I wanted to actually show you guys what taking out enemies. But see here, grab a normal enemy, get him out of the way, and then you can take him down. So that way he is not in the direct line of sight of other enemies. And I'm going to do, I believe, another sync shot up here. So again, you just got to look at the enemy, and you can see on the right there, we can sync shot. Wait. It kind of takes a little bit of time before the guy can shoot.
Ready. Call the shot.
Once he's ready, you can call it up and engage. And it's really cool. I love that. It helps me to be more aware of my surroundings, and it gives me a reason to use the AI teammates for what they are for. And I always love doing that, showcasing what the developers have put these really cool features into games nowadays. I got to admit, I was very scared about this because Ghost Recon has been one of my favorite series for such a long time, and I know you guys really haven't seen a lot of Ghost Recon on the channel. I think the only walkthrough that I've done was Ghost Recon Future Wildlands, but I've played the heck out of Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2 and all of the other ones. I just never got around to recording the previous walkthroughs because YouTube really wasn't around when those games came out, or it wasn't what it is today. So I'd love to revisit some of those earlier Ghost Recons to show you guys some of that gameplay as well. But this just gets me excited. I mean, it's improved so much from E3 because I was so afraid of that. As you can saw, he came up pretty fast on us and we had to take him out. I think what I'm going to do from now on is always grab first, especially if there's no other enemies around, because I want to get the bodies out of the way. And since you cannot pick up bodies after you have already kind of taken out the enemy, obviously that's the best method. So we've got a few objectives that you can do in this area here. And the information that we need is over here. And this allows you to choose exactly what you want to upgrade. This is a side mission. So you can do skill points, supply raids, or rebel ops. And they'll get you different things, different skills. Obviously, the blue skill points allow you to upgrade your character. So this will show you where skill points are in a given area of the map. So now, as you can see, those things that just popped up, all of those show up on the map now, and they will allow you to go around and you can just pick up free skill points. Again, these are just side things to do. This is what's going to, you know, extend the gameplay. I think most people, though, are probably going to stick to multiplayer and co-op. And here's another thing. So this is what fleshes out the story. As you can see, you get picture evidence of some different kind of stuff here. I can't really show you the menu system or any of that stuff too much, as it's not final. But we got some more sync shotting up here. Again, I'm still pretty early. I'm about at an hour playing the game, and I only did about 2 or 3 missions just to get a feel for everything. And then they kind of just threw us into the co-op. So you're gonna get a good 2 hours of co-op, because I'm gonna have that unedited footage and just show you guys what the co-op is. You're going to see a lot of bugs. You're going to see a lot of weird things that happen with network. Those are things that they're fleshing out, of course. It is an early build and not the final version. So obviously those things are not going to happen towards later. So you need to remember that when you're watching, as there's going to be a lot of funny moments in the co-op video. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that co-op video. It's going to be pretty funny. But again, this is just me going around the single player. Again, just trying to have as much fun as possible and get as much of the single player in as I can. Unfortunately, I wish I got to play a little bit more, but this is what I got to play, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have a lot of videos on co-op, and I'll also maybe put this video out in non-commentary form. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a comment below. What do you think of the game so far? Ask me any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. I'll see you later. Peace out.